You are listening to Peak One Sports.
Welcome to the Bungalow Sports Show. It's me. I'm your host, Cole James Rambo. Right over there is nobody. Joey's out for the weekend. He's got some family stuff going on, and we all know family stuff is more important than a podcast you do not get paid for. So he's missing out this week, and you're stuck. I tried to convince Paris. I tried to convince my wife to come in here because she's always got something entertaining to say when you put a microphone and a camera in front of her face, but it's like it's hard to get her out here because she's just like, I don't know nothing about sports, and I'm like, yeah, I got all the topics right here, I've got all the shit in my head, you just gotta talk. When something pops into your head, just say it, and then it'll spark conversation, you know. And it's earlier in the morning on Sunday. It's usually this is her time to chill with Andy, and Joey's here, and we're doing this together, and I wanted to get it done. We're going to a barbecue later today, and I want to have this thing done and edited before we go to the barbecue, because I don't want to come back from the barbecue in whatever state I may be in and have to still edit this thing and send it off, because, you know, I'm in charge of doing the show, recording the show, and editing the show, okay? I do it all. And so, I mean, so do most people on this network. I'm not saying, like, I don't want you to pat me on the back. I only bring this up because I had a audio issue on this week's Fight Night preview. It's the first subpar audio, like subpar quality episode I've put out since we've been on Peak One. So I want to apologize to the listeners. It sounded like we were in a fucking wind tunnel recording that thing this week. But it wasn't too bad. Still was very watchable, listenable, whatever. But it just goes to show you, you know, I love this game. I love this podcasting game. I've been doing it for like 13, almost 14 years now. And for, you know, no money. Just because I like doing it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the medium. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking in general. Hence the fact that I'm in here alone, talking to a tiny little black lens right now and just pretending that I see all your faces out there. Because it makes me feel a little less crazy that I can just keep talking and talking with no one in the room. I've said before, I come from a long line of loud snorers. I also come from a long line of talking to your selfers. I remember just looking out the blinds into my backyard at times. My dad's just back there having a full-on conversation with the air. Just hand motions, talking, responding to the, like, just, I mean, there was definitely alcohol involved, but you know what I mean. It takes a special kind of person to talk to no one and pretend like someone's listening, but I think some of you might be listening, you might be watching. I appreciate it, but what we need you to do is share this show, share the network. We're at this 100 subscriber challenge is coming. It's coming to a head. We're almost there. By the time this comes out, we might need single digit numbers to get there. Okay, it's a slow build, but once you get to these big chunk numbers, then it'll grow, and we're trying to grow this thing, and we appreciate everyone who's tuning in on a weekly basis to this show or any of the shows on Peak One Sports. But we need you guys to share it. It's the only way this thing works. It's the only way. I mean, not everybody's as psycho as I am, and we'll keep doing this in perpetuity for no money and you know, not a lot of listeners and things like that. I'll keep going. All right, you don't got to worry about me in some form or another. I keep going, but there's other people involved with this network that are sane, rational human beings, and at a certain point, if we don't got you guys sharing and spreading the word and this thing isn't growing like wildfire, maybe we just throw in the towel. Who knows? So get out there and do it. It's not hard. You guys are liking the content. We see it. We see the thumbs ups. We see the hearts. But you got to hit that share button. You got to tell your friends. You got to tell your enemies. You know what I mean? Send your enemies the worst show on this network and have them watch whatever you think that might be. You know? Tell everyone in your life. What's that? What's it gonna hurt? Then be like, nah, I'm not into sports. Okay, moving on. But maybe there's that one who goes, oh shit, yeah, I'll check that out. And then they check it out and they like something that they see on Peak One Sports. And they go, you know what? I'm gonna tell so-and-so. You know what I mean? And then so-and-so tells so-and-so. And that's how this thing works, man. You know, we're at a certain point, we only have a certain reach alone. It's the reach of everybody involved, and that means the listeners, the viewers, the subscribers. If you're an audio listener and you listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever else, make sure you're subscribed to the show. You don't want to search it every week, so make sure you're subscribed. If you're a YouTube viewer and you're watching this right now, go subscribe. Even if this is the first episode, you may not watch another one. Go subscribe, because you never know. One day, an episode might come across of something that you're really into, and then that'll bring you right back to us. So, what's it going to hurt? You guys you've subscribed to, like, you've gotten rid of cable and subscribed to 70 million streaming services that you've forgotten about, and in like 5 years, oh shit, I've been paying for this for the last 4.5 years, and I all I did was watch Halo, the TV show, on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then you get rid of it, right? So what? We're not even charging you. It's a free subscription, so just subscribe. And then in 5 years, you go back and you say, oh shit, I'm still subscribed to Peak One Sports. It don't matter. We're not in your pocketbook. We just need the numbers. The numbers are what will get us paid. And then, you know what? I mean, if I can switch over and go from being a construction worker to a full-time podcaster, I'll do one of these every day. You think I can't talk this much every single day? Yeah, I can. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's my plea to you, is to go share this with your friends and share it with your enemies and share it with your loved ones. I'll try not to cuss on this episode as much today, so share it with your children. Share it with everyone. We're a family affair here at Peak One Sports, all right? As always, we are also brought to you by Betalytics. Betalytics.com. Go there and sign up with promo code Peak One Sports. Get 25% off the fee, your profile at Betalytics. They're not doing MMA yet. I know we talk about that all the time. Maybe one day, but I not a good idea. It's just too unpredictable, I think. And this weekend was no different for my picks, at least what we were talking about on Fight Night. Shit's unpredictable. Sports can be unpredictable, but the best way to bring your success percentage to a better spot is to go to Betalytics.com and get a profile and get 25% off with the promo code Peak One Sports. And they do baseball, basketball, hockey, football, and they just give you pretty much all the information you're going to need to make about the best, most educated bet you can make. Let's be responsible with our bets out there. Don't be like me. Okay, 100 subscriber challenge. We're coming to a close. By the time this comes out, we may need, single digit subscribers and to get to our goal. And me and Joey are gonna have to follow through on our challenge and our sports challenge with each other. And I think I've got the final 3 here. I'll wait till Joey comes back next week before we really cement these and sign the contracts and everything. But I believe that if we can get to 100 subscribers, Joey and I are going to be going head to head, and we'll have cool edited versions of these challenges going up on the page once we get there. But we're going to be going head to head in a wiffle ball home run derby. All right. We've got a actual wiffle ball field we're going to be going to, and that's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I got to get out there and get some swings with the wiffle ball bat because I have an 8-year-old son. So I've lately, as of late, over the last few years, I've been strictly on the all-time pitcher side of wiffle ball because he can't throw straight for shit. So there's nobody to pitch to me. So I'm constantly pitching to him. Therefore, we'll have to do that. We'll have to nail down the details on that because as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking I've always envisioned having an all-time pitcher and then me and Joey just hitting. But now I'm thinking it might be fun to pitch to each other, right? Because then it's kind of a double challenge, right? I don't know, but then you're going to want to not throw. No, home run derby, you got to have all-time pitcher just throwing strikes, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm glad we figured that out. We're also going to be doing an ice hockey shootout, an NHL-style shootout, a three shots apiece, basically, best of three hockey shootout. If it's at a tie, then we go 1-for-1 after that. We're going to be doing that at Oak Park Ice Arena. Haven't talked to Danny, the manager, yet about it, but if you're watching this, Danny, I'm talking to you about it now. If you're not watching this, I'll talk to you about it I'll talk to you about it tomorrow at my game and get that set up. But I'm sure he'll be cool with it. And then yesterday, so we've been trying to kick around this third idea because I wanted it to be a best of 3 challenge, right? Because somebody's got to be the champion, and if we're going to do more than one, you got to do an odd number. So for the third one, we've been kicking a lot of things around, no pun intended. We originally were thinking like a field goal kicking competition, but that's something that's, I don't think that would be very cool on video because I think we would both just be so bad at it and maybe not even make any, so I don't know. There's a lot of different stuff we were kicking around, but yesterday my wife and my son and I went to one of my son's friends' birthday parties at John's Incredible Pizza, which is also has if you've never been there, I'm not sure if that's like a nationwide chain or if it's just a West Coast thing. It's like, your standard like a low rent Dave and Buster's, you know what I mean? It's a buffet style pizza joint, so it's buffet style pizza with like all different types of pizzas, and then they got a salad bar, they've got some a noodle and sauce bar, and they've got like a dessert bar, just low rent white people shit. But then they've got a pretty decent arcade. They've got like an actual like carnival spinning twister ride in there. They've got classic, laser tag, they've got some bumper cars. They've got like a little mini, it's set up like a bowling alley, but it's a small ball, so it's basically like bocce ball, I guess, or whatever, but it's like set up like a little 3-lane bowling alley. They've got a mini golf course in there, which started making me think. I was like, well, shit, do we just come for our third challenge? Do we come to the arcade and we give each other a certain amount, because they have like cards there, you put money on cards. So I'm like, we each get $20 on a card. Who can amass the most tickets? Who can, I don't know. But then that was like, well, that could just be a special on its own. But it got me thinking about mini golf, because they have this it's kind of a crappy little mini golf indoor glow in the dark mini golf course. But I was thinking, we've got quite a few decent mini golf courses around here. We're gonna do the Bungalow Open for our third and final. Because like me envisioning this right now is like maybe Joey beats me in the wiffle ball home run derby. I eat Joey's fucking lunch in the ice hockey shootout. And then it all comes down to the Bungalow Open mini golf championship. And whoever wins that takes home the 100 subscriber challenge, 100 subscriber challenge trophy. I don't know. But so I think that's what we're going to do. Obviously, Joe will be back next week and we'll really nail all these things down. But again, people, share this. Share this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Share this channel as much as you can. It doesn't take, it's just another click. You already clicked like, so click share too. What are you afraid? Your friends are going to be like, what are you sharing this stupid show for? They're like, no, they're not. They're either going to just scroll right past it or they're going to click on it and they're going to like it, because why wouldn't you like it? That's all I'm saying. But to keep it in the arcade for a minute, you know, as an adult, you know, I don't get to go to that many arcades, or at least recently. You know, I have an 8-year-old, I said, right? So, like, he's just, if you have kids out there who are, like, over 6 years old, like, you realize they start to kind of plug in and come online and, like, have their own personalities, and they start getting into shit, and they're not just kind of just doing whatever you're doing. And so now Andy's really into arcades, so we've been going to arcades a lot, you know, recently. And you just go in, sometimes you just go in places and you're just like, oh, I'm just a kid for a little bit, right? Like, who cares? The inhibitions are gone. I'm not too cool for school. Like, yesterday we went to that John's Incredible Pizza, and all my son's friends, like, they have their little homie gang that all came to the party, and then they all go get in line for laser tag, and they're just super pumped. And I'm just looking every time the door opens and the smoke machine, like, some of the smoke comes out of the door. You see the lights and the lasers going off in there. I'm just jealous, dude. So jealous, you know? And, like, part of me, I mean, I really, I don't care at all, really, if, like, people think I'm immature, right? I feel like it makes life more enjoyable to kind of stay a little more childlike. Like, I take shit seriously when it needs to be taken seriously, but on a day-to-day basis, I'm trying to live like, you know, with these kitty glasses on, man. I'm trying to be excited about shit. That's the only way you can, you know, be happy in life, with all the mundane shit you have to do as an adult and a parent, and just people trying to just make it in the world. You know, life will beat you down. But that's why you just got to put on some goggles and pretend you're 8 sometimes. And when I saw that laser tag line, it took everything in me not to get in that line and then just be like, I would have been like a fucking Will Ferrell character, like, in that laser tag, just owning kids and, you know, barrel rolling and, you know, freaking shooting them execution style. And just owning those kids. And I'm like, no, we'll let them have their fun, you know. But I get really into arcades when you get inside the confines, and it's like, I'm gonna be here for a couple hours, so I might as well enjoy myself. And yesterday I went on a racing game. Andy went on it first, and then I went to go try to join his race, but he was already going, so I did my own race. And it was like your classic style racing game. You know how, like, you have like your the car racing where you're in this cockpit and you got the wheel and the gear shifter and stuff, and then you've also got like the motorcycle style ones where you lean side to side on the motorcycle. This is one of the motorcycle style ones, but it was a snowmobile race. It was like an X Games machine or some shit like that. And your boy set a course record on the hardest level course. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go hard. I haven't done one of these in years. I'm just gonna go hard. And I went hard, and I set a course high score, best time. You know, had to put in the initials, got that number 1 spot. And I got to tell you, it doesn't matter how old you get. You set a high score on a machine in an arcade. And, dude, I was on cloud 9 the rest of the birthday party, dude. I'm walking around John's Incredible Pizza like I'm John. Like, I own this place. I'm just, like, standing up a little bit taller, shoulders back. I just kept walking by that game. So, like, just in case anybody wanted to know whose initials those were up top, I'd be like, hey, you want to see my license? Like, that's me, dude. Those are my initials. CJR, Cole James Rambo, host of the Bungalow Sports Show. But I don't know. It kind of inspired me yesterday, because now I'm like, well, shit, we could go into one of these arcades here in Modesto. There's a few different spots. There's a Dave & Buster's. There's John's Incredible Pizza. There's Funworks. There's Boomers. there's a few different options arcade wise, and Joey can do like a little arcade challenge series like once a month or something, where we go in and we just have an arcade challenge. Who can get the most tickets, dude? Or we like do specific like skee ball, like a skee ball championship, or even maybe do a tournament down the road. We invite anybody. We open it up. We do a skee ball championship. I don't know. We'll see. Lots of stuff. Lots of fun stuff was flowing through my brain at the arcade yesterday. Maybe we should talk about some sports today. It's only been 20 minutes and I haven't mentioned anything really about sports. Our boy, our man, Stan Kroenke, owner extraordinaire. We talked about him last week or a week before or whenever the hell it was, Denver Nuggets owner, Avalanche owner, Rams owner, Mammoth owner, he's just winning championships left and right. His real estate group is taking over an arena project in San Diego with the ability to house an NHL or an NBA team. This is big, dude, because San Diego, they lost the Chargers. Like, they still have the Padres over there, but that's baseball. And I'm not sure what their arena status is down there. I know they have like a minor league hockey team. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll get an NHL team. Hopefully maybe the Coyotes will go there. Hopefully they'll get an NBA team. San Diego deserves it. It's a cool city. They support the Padres. The Padres spent a lot of money on that team with players and everything else. So they must see the benefit in that. So it must be a good sports town. I don't know. I've never spent any time in San Diego. We should ask Alexis. He lives, pretty damn close. So that would be exciting for him. You know what I mean? He could get into hockey or basketball and actually have a team to root for down there. But Stan Kroenke, dude, just making moves, making goat path moves. Oh, that reminds me. Peak One merch store. Go to bonfire.com/store/Peak1Sports. And we got Goat Path shirts up now. Little silly little shirt. If you're into the Goat Path, if you're into like some of these athletes and people around sports that are putting together careers. And it's easy to recognize the goats once they're the goats. But did you recognize them when they were on the Goat Path? Let everybody know. Go get yourself a Goat Path shirt at the Peak One Sports store. The link will be in the description of this episode. That's bonfire.com/store/Peak1Sports. Go for it, Stan Kroenke. Stay on that Goat Path. What do I got here? Nick Marsman, MLS goaltender. He is actually the goaltender for the Inter Miami, where he's teammates with Messi now. Probably going to have to miss Messi's debut because he was bitten by a spider at the zoo and hospitalized. Really fucked him up. I kept reading this article, and they didn't even say what kind of spider it was. What kind of journalism is that? But it had to have been something gnarly, probably like a brown recluse or a black widow or something. I mean, we're talking about, well, I don't know. That's Florida, so there could be some kind of gnarly, foreign spiders that came in on boats or some shit. But, what a bummer for an athlete to get taken out by a spider. Like, I mean, it's 2023, dude. Like, what are you doing getting taken out by a spider? I feel like at this point in my life, if I got bit by, if I'm in my backyard and, around here, I guess probably the most poisonous spider around where I live is a spider called the brown recluse. And it's very rare that anybody gets bit. I had a neighbor who got bit by it when I was a kid, though. But, it's 2023, dude. I don't think I can die by spider anymore. I don't even think I could get hospitalized. This guy's getting hospitalized. Put me in net. Why is this guy in net getting hospitalized? That's not, I don't know. I don't want my pro athletes being hospitalized by spiders, dude. I kill spiders, or I decide to let them live. That's my choice, not theirs, And, Nick Marsman. I mean, speedy recovery, dude. Like, I'm not always the best for everybody, but it's a bad look, dude. Getting almost taken out by a spider. All right, we got a little throwback coming in. This week was announced a big, not a big TV contract, but a TV contract between ESPN and Slamball. I don't know if any of you out there remember Slamball. It's a throwback to, like, I don't know, was it like early 2000s or like maybe even the late 90s? No, probably true 2000s. It was like a cross between basketball, hockey, and on a trampoline. I guess you could say kind of football too, but not really. It's just basically like, it's like basketball where checking, like hockey style checking, is allowed, but then they're also on a series of trampolines surrounding a basketball hoop, and then they got to slam it in off of one of the trampolines. It's one of those sports where it's like, it's interesting that ESPN is taking it, is made a TV deal with them, like in a world where the Live Golf Tour, like, even merged with the PGA, and they got to be on the CW, but Slamball's going to be on ESPN. Like, it makes you think, like, me, I'm a freak, dude. Like, I love traditional sports, and I love the traditionalism of, like, the main sports in our lives and our countries, and the things, the kind of things that we hold sacred as sports fans. But things like Slamball and, like, these newer sports that just get made up, I'm all for it, dude. Like, even like the basketball, like the big three or whatever was that, like, it's just like different spins on different, and it's fine. It's never going to be big like the major ones. So it's like, let it have its space. And Slamball inking a deal with ESPN is like, it's kind of like we're entering idiocracy now. You know what I mean? The first thing was the UFC, and you know me, I love the UFC, I love MMA, but it's brutal. It's a brutal sport. It pulls at the strings of our, like, inner barbarians. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say what you want and how evolved humans are and how evolved we must keep being and things like that. There's always the thing inside of us that that's where, like, rage comes from. Is like, you can filter our rage and our aggression into other things these days to not be like a shitty person who's out there just fighting with people all the time. But there's always, and the people who can tap into that and use it usually become professional athletes, right? And the UFC, cage fighting, Slamball, like, and then on the other side of it, you've got people, upset about words and shit like that. So it's like, the middle ground is gone. It's like, either you are you're completely soft and want to live in a soft world, which to each his own, that's totally fine, or you are completely hardened and want to live in a kill or be killed hard type world. Like, I'm somewhere in the middle, man, and like, I feel like the population of the middle is getting less and less, but I'm not helping it, because I like Slamball. Like, go watch some Slamball highlights. It's ridiculous. There's some good hits in there and shit, and but it's also just like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of these guys who's like, if you can't beat them, join them, in a way of like, there's nothing I can do about the climate of society today and what people like and dislike. But there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just along for the ride. So if there's going to be a world where there's Slamball, whether I like it or not, I might as well just join in and like it. I don't want to be on the complainer side that's just complaining about some stupid, sport that all it does is add, like, injury. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. I've seen a couple different debates about, like, all, like, extreme versions of, like, of traditional sports and what it means, like, when, like, or like slap fighting and shit like that, like, all this stuff that's, like, going viral. And I think that's what it is a lot with this Slamball thing, is like, there's a lot of footage that's going to go viral for just clips of cool slam dunks or big hits or whatever, you know what I mean? And they're going to really stylize it, and with the trampolines and the high jumps and the people are going to be doing flips and shit. And like, it's just, there's a lot of opportunity, photo ops, for viral stuff, and that's the way of the world today. Slap fighting is not cool. It's not, nobody fucking likes it. But yeah, if I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see two big giant dudes holding onto a table and their other hand is covered in powder, I'm going to watch to see what happens. So they're getting all these crazy social media hits on, TikToks and Reels and like just the 30-second, 1-minute little videos. And that's what's paying people's bills today, and again, there's nothing we can do about it. So we might as well go along for the ride and watch some goddamn Slamball. But that's me. I don't know. I'm in here alone today. So like, you're just hearing stream of consciousness. I've got no feedback. I've got no, quip little comebacks or disagreements from my pal Joey. We're not different. I wish I could just hear one, we're different today, but no, I'm alone. So we're not different. We're all the same today, and you're all just inside my head. Moving on. Keeping it in the realm of the future of sports, Wimbledon is unveiling an AI commentator that is going to debut at the tournament, which obviously can happen, right? If you've seen Chat GPT and a lot of these different chat bots and just these AIs that are coming out that people are able to not control, but like put parameters on. Like, of course, an AI can watch a tennis game and commentate on it. It'll be interesting. I'll definitely want to hear it, just to see how creepy it is and how like uncanny valley it is, or if it's like indistinguishable from a human. And tennis is probably a good start because tennis can be exciting, obviously, with the rallies and shit like that, and watching it going back and forth and just how athletic they are, but as like a play caller, as like a commentator, not a lot of things like going on super fast, right? So like, I think that'll be a good place to start for an AI commentator. Like, once you get into sports with a lot more rules and whistles and things like that, and different fouls and and penalties and everything, it might get a little more convoluted and hard for an AI to keep up, but I'm sure that's right around the corner. So if you're super into I wonder what like is there a difference? If you're a tennis purist but you only watch on TV, are you going to care if it's a human or a robot? Like, in the actual stadium, if you're there watching a tennis match, I mean, I could see wanting a human just for the emotion side of it, you know what I mean, when you're going back and forth. But maybe that, that lends itself to TV as well. I don't know. It's going to be a weird world pretty soon, people. It's just, I know people are trying to deny it or think that it's not going to happen, but we are on the cusp of some, especially with our entertainment. We got this writer's strike going on in Hollywood, and the biggest base of that strike is basically like the issue. One of the big issues with the strike, obviously, is pay, but it's also the use of AI for writing scripts and different things like that, and using AI as a jumping off point and different things. And people are going to lose their jobs and shit because you're not going to need as many human writers, because you can have an AI write an entire script and then a human can go over it and edit it and change it around. Basically the bulk of the work will be done by an AI, and then maybe one or two people can go over it and add the humanity to it. And maybe the AI learns humanity, and then we don't need them at all. I see what they're saying. I see what they're striking about, but also like, a big cross section of America are truck drivers, and a lot of truck drivers are getting, soon going to be getting replaced with self-driving trucks. And for a while, they're going to need a human in the truck while the truck is self-driving, just as a fail-safe. And then over time, they'll realize they won't need a fail-safe because of the amount of accidents not happening because AI are driving the trucks. And then they'll phase out that fail-safe person that has to ride with the truck, and then you'll just need the people to load the trucks, but then they'll realize, oh, we made these forklift robots that can just pick up these pallets and load them in the truck for us. And then you'll just need somebody with a remote control to control the forklift robots. And then after a while, you'll realize that, oh, we can just map these things out like a Roomba, and we don't need the forklift. We don't need the controller of the forklift robot anymore. And then that guy loses a job, right? So this is all over in most industries right now. People, you got the automatic burger flippers at McDonald's and shit like that. It's happening. It's not happening. I mean, and the speed of it is what I think people aren't realizing is going to have the biggest impact. Is like over time, I'm still of a generation. I grew up. I was born before computers. There were household computers. You know what I mean? So I got my first computer probably when I was my son's age or maybe a little bit older. And so I know both of those worlds. And then to see how long it took to get from that first computer to where we are now, and then every year, month, shit, even every week, we're seeing these leaps and bounds that would have taken years before, but they're happening in months. They're happening in days now. So the timing, not only is it all coming down the pipe, but it's all happening faster and faster. The more things we invent, the more powerful the AI gets. The AI makes itself better faster. It's kind of just like humans, right? We have the Industrial Revolution. Look how much time there was from cavemen to the Industrial Revolution versus from the Industrial Revolution to now, right? Even us, we are exponential, right? The more we learn, the more we build, the more we create, the more things we learn how to build, create, and the more ideas we have. So AI is doing the same thing, except it's just light speed faster. So to be honest, I think this isn't a job for me. I don't get paid, but this sports commentary or commentary on things, I think is going to become one of the things that can't be taken over by AI, right? Because everything we do on this show is completely opinion based. It's specific to me, and even Joey, who sits 5 feet from me in this studio and has been my friend for a decade, and we've grown super close and have a lot in common. Our opinions don't even match up a lot of times. You know what I mean? On whether it's something mundane like sports or bets or anything else. Whether you're a sports commentator, a political commentator, an art commentator, a food critic, all the things that are based on opinion are going to be the only things that are humanized in the future, because anything that's facts based or anything that can be done where there's a black and white yes or no, a robot can do it. But anywhere that's gray area, and this show, sports commentary in general, is all gray area because it's all people-specific opinions. Yeah, some people steal their opinions from other bigger shows and like that, and they don't even formulate their own opinions. They just take somebody else's and regurgitate it. Still, that's coming from a human source, and it can't really come by AI. Maybe one day we'll have bias, but they're not going to have bias right out the gate, right? They're not going to care if the Sharks win as much as I do. They're not going to care at all. They're just going to know the stats. They're going to know the predictions of what might happen, and then they'll give you the results at the end. You know what I mean? That's all it's going to do is go based off the facts. I go based off my gut and my heart and my brain, right? We've talked about this before. This show, it's coming right out of these three spots. You know what I mean? My gut, my heart, my brain. And that can't be duplicated, my friends. I don't know what's going on right now, okay? I don't even know what this freaking show is. Oh, but I think it's almost over. It's going to be a short one. This is the point where we do some Joey quickies right now. Joey's not here, so we got no quickies. But what we do have is a little switch up with the, I know last week I changed it from just the shout out to the shout out and the shut up. But this week, no shout out. I just got shut up and shut up. All right? And maybe it's because I'm alone in here. I'm angry because I don't have a co-host. But I got shut up and shut up this week. And my first shut up is to Dana White, Daddy Dana, the leader of the UFC, giving merit to this Mark Zuckerberg Elon Musk fight. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Facebook and Twitter are going to be like going head to head because Facebook is releasing their version of Twitter at a social platform that is basically a Facebook, a meta version of Twitter. So then I don't know if it was playful. I didn't even see the original interview, but whether it was playful or serious or whatever, Zuckerberg was like, yeah, I'd fight Elon because, you know, Zuckerberg, he wins jiu-jitsu tournaments without bribery. But he's like, yeah, I'd fight Elon. And then Elon's like, I'd fight him in the UFC octagon. Elon says that, you know, and then fucking it, obviously, because we live in idiocracy, we live in bizarro world, we live in Slamball world. It gets traction, gets all over the internet, and then fucking fame sucker Dana White, who just has to keep himself. I don't know, man. He has to just he's Conor McGregor-esque in the amount that he has to keep himself famous for no reason. I mean, Roger Goodell, he's famous for people hating him because he's a commissioner of football, and same thing with Rob Manfred. And I don't know if people hate what's his name, the tall bald guy from the NBA, David Stern. No, that was the last one. I don't know. Anyways, you know, I know ball. But anyways, Dana White making comments about how it could happen. It'd be the biggest pay-per-view of all time, and da-da-da-da-da. And, like, giving merit to this is just like, motherfucker. Like, why can't... And this is where my curmudgeon-y old sports salt comes in, because it's just like, I get it. Make a slam ball. Make something that's not attached to basketball, hockey, or football, and make slam ball. It's over here. You know what I mean? Make the big three, but you don't put a big three team in the NBA playoffs. It's just the big three's over here doing its own thing. What Dana White does is he constantly says how he doesn't do circus fights. Like, so MMA, when it first started in Japan, like, I mean, it didn't first start in Japan, but like Pride and UFC, like Pride got really big there, bigger than the UFC for a while, and they were famous. You know, the Asian countries were famous for doing kind of freak show fights. They would just put big giant humans against little people and just do all kinds of crazy shit. And, you know, just people who were just famous being able to fight a professional fighter and all this stuff. And Dana White, I'm never doing that, where they always toots this horn of how they don't do freak show fights. But then he co-promotes Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, which isn't necessarily a freak show fight because they're both professional athletes, but Conor McGregor's not winning a boxing match against any top professional boxer. No MMA guy is. But then, like, you had, like, the James Toney coming over to MMA and fighting Randy Couture, and Randy Couture ankle picked him and put him through the mat. And then, you know, the Brock Lesnar experience was a successful one, you know? So it's, like, not necessarily against it when it's other professionals. But the thing about this is, like, this would just be a complete money grab and just also another, look at how fucking stupid Americans are. We're going to put the two richest guys in the fucking country. I mean, you put Bezos richer than both of them. You put him in there, he's mopping the floor. You ever seen that guy? Bezos' transformation from when he started Amazon to now, it's like, it's literally, I mean, human growth hormone at its best, dude. Like, he's fucking jacked, and he would eat both Zuckerberg and Elon's nuts, dude. He would completely annihilate them. You can see why he's not involved in the conversation. But Elon also, he got to outweigh Zuck by at least 80 pounds, I'd imagine. He has to, right? So there's either got to be some weight loss there or something. I don't know. But it's just, it's crazy because it's just like nobody wants to see these motherfuckers fight. Like, they can't fight. They don't fight. They're Silicon Valley nerds who create a bunch of innovative shit and make a bunch of money. That's what they do. Like, and like when I say like in the comparison to like a freak show like calling Slamball like some stupid American shit, but it's also like they're over there doing their own thing. Putting Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk on a UFC card, or even the UFC being attached to it in any way, is like, oh, we're going to put the NFL saying, you know what, we're not going to play Thursday Night Football this week. We're going to broadcast the, loosey-goosey Dirt League Championship. That's what we're going to broadcast. You can't do that. Like, you can't call your, and the NFL would never do that, right? Because they have a standard. The UFC constantly, being involved with ESPN and just constantly trying to be taken seriously as one of the major sports in this country, a la NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL. Trying to be on that list, but then, giving merit to a Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg MMA match in your league, or you promoting it in some way, is just like, that is ridiculous. That takes you off that. If you do things like that, you're not eligible to be taken seriously as a sport. And as big a fan as I am of MMA and the UFC specifically, it kind of hurts, because it's just like, motherfucker, I've been supporting this and watching this for so long, and it's so cool to finally see it on ESPN and finally see it on mainstream TV. But yet you still hold nothing sacred. You know what I mean? Let them fight. They can go fight. Anybody can put on a fight these days, and they can do their pay-per-view, and they can do whatever the fuck they want if they're actually going to do it. But don't be involved, UFC, because that's just that takes away credibility. Because it's just like, these aren't athletes. That takes away credibility from all the people on your roster of like, we're going to take a spot on a fight card, on a main event, on a pay-per-view, or whatever, a co-main, whatever. We're giving merit to this over one of the fighters who has worked hard to get to that position. Like, it just takes away. It's like, dude, Kansas City, we made it to the Super Bowl again, but Pat Mahomes, we're going to need you to sit down. Cole James Rambo's coming in. He's been playing a lot of Madden lately, and we're going to see if he can lead the Kansas City Chiefs to yet another Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I don't know. A lot of you out there probably don't like or love MMA, UFC as much as I do. But it really sucks, dude. Like, it sucks. It sucks balls, man. Like, this isn't a fun thing like, Will Ferrell playing for every team during spring training. Like, that's spring training. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to put Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk in a amateur non-sanctioned bout live on UFC Fight Pass, and only real fucking degenerates will fucking go buy it and sign in to watch it, then okay, I guess you could do that. But when you're talking about this would be the biggest pay-per-view of all time, do you want it to be? Do you want Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg to be the biggest pay-per-view of all time? You don't want it to be a Floyd Mayweather fight. You don't want it to be a UFC fight. You don't want it to be just a big boxing match in general. Like, it takes away from combat sports so much to even put that out there, that would be the biggest fight of all time. And it just shows the state of your sport in America and the world. So shut up, Dana White. And my other shut up is to all the people anybody out there who had a problem with NHL teams doing Pride warm-up jerseys this last year. And this has nothing to do with Pride. I could care less how you feel about homosexuality or homosexuals or Pride Month or Black History Month or whatever it is that you have a problem with. I could care less. This isn't about that. What this is about for me is you're taking away my fun, because now the NHL, because there was such an uproar because of the Pride warm-up jerseys. Teams, if you've never been to a live hockey game or like watched early on in a broadcast, like when the teams come out for warm-up, they usually have a specialty jersey on They have like some kind of commemorative night at their stadium. There's some, a holiday. They've got some kind of commemorative, fun warm-up jerseys that you can purchase and add to your collection. And then they go back after warm-ups, put on their regular jerseys, come out and play the game, right? So they don't wear these things in the game. So, first off, you can't handle 15 minutes of a rainbow flag on your fucking jersey. Go fuck yourself. I don't care how you feel about anybody in this world. You're a bitch. Because by complaining so much and having such a problem about this one specific warm-up jersey, now we get none. The NHL has put a stop to all... let me read it right. The NHL has announced teams will not wear specialty jerseys during warm-ups next season. So now you're just going to get a version of their regular jersey like it used to be before they added this super fun thing where they had cool warm-up jerseys, and you'd have your St. Patrick's Day ones, and you'd have, like the Sharks, they do a Mexican heritage one because we got a lot of Hispanic people in the Bay Area where they do the Los Tiburones, and they do cool Sugar Skull style art with the logo, and there's just badass artwork. Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, like all these cool different jerseys, it's and the ideas are endless. You could, for years and years, you can have different ideas for different same holidays, adding things all the time. I love jerseys. And because these fuck faces who had such a problem with them and who knows, there's probably one night. They weren't wearing them all month. It was probably one night they were wearing a fucking rainbow version of their jersey. Like, turn the TV off for a second or show up to the game late. Like, if you got such a problem with that. This has nothing to do with pride. This has nothing to do with... Because that's like saying, well, fucking, the Sharks shouldn't do the Los Tiburones jerseys because we have a problem with Mexican immigrants coming to this country undocumented, and now they shouldn't do it. Fuck you! It's one of the coolest jerseys every year. It's like, why do the fucking Irish? Like, I don't have a heritage that has a jersey. I'm what they used to call Heinz 57. I got nothing. Like, I got nothing in me. I got a million things in me. Nothing to hold pride to. Why should the fucking Irish get a St. Patrick's Day jersey? Why should all the people that love get a Valentine's Day jersey? Why should anybody get a fucking jersey? It doesn't matter. It's a thing. It's something fun. It's something to add to the sport that isn't negative. It's just pure fun. It's representation. It's cool. It's another thing to add to your collection. But no. People thinking they're taking some kind of a moral stand. You're just taking a bitch stand. Because you don't have to buy the jersey. And it's like, oh, I'm tired of all the sports getting political. And it's like, they're not. People are acting like Pride Month just happened since people started getting woke. It's like, no, it's been around forever. Black History Month, been around forever. Longer than most of the people who care about this have been alive. So, and if you're hearkening back to a time, the 1960s or the 70s, like, what the fuck off? Like, things are different now. Things always get different. Things change. So for you to specifically ruin an entire fun part of a sport, of a sports fan, this adds to the sport for me. This adds to my love for it because it's cool. It's fucking cool to have all these different jerseys. And you fucking ruin that because of whatever moral, religious, antiquated fucking views you have on this one specific night that they were wearing pride jerseys. You fuck it up for the rest of us. They call what NFL's the No Fun League when they took out celebrations. They took all that shit and they're pulling a lot of that stuff back because it added fun to the sport. The NHL has now dipped their toe in the No Fucking Fun League. All because what? Because, I mean, and how many people could it have actually been? You know what I mean? I think the NHL's thing is like there was a lot of players that were against it and da-da-da-da-da. It's just like, who cares? Like, they're okay with wearing the leprechaun jersey, but not the rainbow jersey? Why? You know what I mean? Or fucking sit out. Sit out for warm-ups. Wear a different jersey during warm-ups. I don't know. Let them do whatever the fuck they want, but don't take it away from the rest of us because they're close-minded assholes who just can't let everything be equal. It's like, oh, we're adding all this shit, all this gay stuff to everything. And well, there's shit added to everything all the time. This is another thing that you can't stop because of your views are not going to stop this from happening. Whether you think TV and entertainment and everything else or the frogs are turning everybody gay, people are gay. I fall somewhere in the middle where I think that is more of a free time to be able to come out and not people aren't as scared and worried about losing their jobs and their families and their social groups, so they're coming out at younger ages or coming out more in mass because it's safer now or it's safer for them. They feel safer, whatever the fuck you want to say. And then also there is there's a lot of influence. There's influence in everything though. And if you keep that to yourself, teach your family, your circle, you do what you want, hate gays, hate fucking black people, do whatever the fuck you want because there's nothing I can do to stop you. But now you're ruining my shit and I don't like it. I don't fucking like it, okay? So you get these kind of impassioned rants when Joey's not here. And please, anybody in the comments who comes at me with some kind of stupid argument towards this, it's not about Pride Month. This argument for me is about my fucking practice jerseys, my cool warm-up jerseys that you have all taken away for no reason. Because the NHL not wearing a jersey for a Pride Night warm-up isn't going to stop people from being gay. And them doing it wasn't going to turn anybody gay. So I don't know what your problem is, but that's not what it's about. It's about my jerseys. Me. This is about me. This show is about me. Joey might have got a bigger square, but in the end, it's about me. Thank you for joining this week. I hope you tune in next week. I don't know what we're doing here. Thank you.